You're watching 39 WDZL, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, your movie station.
1, 2, 3, time again for Tennessee, Tuxedo and his tail.
Come on and see, Tennessee Tuxedo.
Tennessee Tuxedo.
We will be parachuting for your pleasure, sailing seas in search of treasure, anything so he can measure up to men.
That's Tennessee Tuxedo.
A small penguin who tries but can't succeed, oh, though he may fail. As he rides for fame and glory, still he tries in each new story tale.
Ridiculous. This is ridiculous. That measly little light bulb doesn't give enough light for a mouse to read by. We've got to do something about it.
You're absolutely right, Tennessee. How about if I give it a good yank and...
No, Chumley, we can't pull the light down closer to the paper, but we can get the paper up closer to the light. Here, give me a hand stacking up these boxes. Well, sir, this is more like it. Now, Chumley, will you please toss up the sports section?
I'll bring it myself.
No, Chumley, don't climb up. You can't. There isn't... Chumley. Who turned off the lights? Turn on the lights. One of these days, Chumley, one of these days, we're going to have some decent light around here, or I'll know the reason why. Now, this log should make a good torch, Chumley. It's full of pine pitch. There. All right, Chumley. Switch on. Contact. That's more like it. Now, if you'll hand me the comic section, we can get down to some serious reading.
Meanwhile, in his office, Stanley Livingston, director of the zoo, was putting the finishing touches on his favorite hobby. A model of the Empire State Building made entirely out of toothpicks.
There, the final piece. After a whole year, finished at last. Now I'll just back up and take a look at it. Beautiful. Beautiful! Boards! Say boards! The boards! 7, 8, 9, 10. Flunky! How many times have I told you not to come through that door without knocking? Now look what you've done to my model of the Empire State Building.
Yeah, but boss,
And stop calling me boss. I am not a boss. I am Mr. Livingston.
But boss, Mr. Livingston,
And one more thing, Flunky. Would you kindly remember to remove your hat in this office?
Yes, boss, Mr. Livingston.
Now, what was it you wanted to talk to me about?
A fire, Mr. Livingston.
Well, that's better, a fire. A fire?
Yes, sir, Mr. Livingston.
Where?
Over there, Mr. Livingston, sir, in the Walrus and Penguin house.
Oh, this is awful. Well, don't just stand there holding your hat, man. Call the fire department.
Isn't this fine, Chumley? Nothing like reading at home in peace and quiet.
Yeah.
What's that? Seems to be getting closer. Wonder where the fire is. Oh, well. Hey, wait! Wait! Hey!
Well, I might have known you were at the bottom of this.
We were just trying to get enough light to read, Stanley. Improve our minds. The lights in this zoo are a disgrace.
Read? Read? Improve your minds? You're not supposed to read. You're a penguin and a walrus. Now let's have no more nonsense.
Did you hear that, Chumley? Did you? Did you? I'll show him. I'll build our own electric light system. Tennessee Tuxedo will not fail.
Yeah. You know as much about electricity as I do. Nothing.
What do you mean I don't know anything about electric lights? What's there to know? An electric light is simply a little glass, a little wire, and a little electricity. Simple.
Huh?
Now let's get to work. First, we need something for the bulb. This should do it. Now all we need is some wire and a plug.
A short time later...
You see, Chumley, I told you there wasn't anything to it. When we plug it in, the electricity will flow through the wire, go into the bottle, and fill it with light. All right, Chumley? Plug it in. We'll show that Stanley Livingston. This is going to electrify the zoo. Chumley, are you okay? Something must have gone wrong.
Yeah, wrong is right. We better go see the answer man.
You're right. It's time to go see Mr. Whoopi.
I'll bet it's that pesky penguin and walrus again. Come on, flunky.
This seems like a very good time for us to go, Chumley. Follow me. We'll escape under cover of darkness.
The hell? Do you have a riddle, Chumley?
Yeah. How can 5 men stand under one umbrella and still nobody gets wet?
Because it isn't raining. And you say there was a big flash and everything went black.
That's right. So we want to know how to make a light.
Well, we mustn't keep you in the dark about that, must we? Oh, no. I think this is a job for the 3-dimensional blackboard. Now, where did I put it? In the closet, I guess. Ah, yes, here we are. The fabulous, famous, flamboyant, fantastic 3D BB.
Wow.
Whoa!
You know, my boy, you were trying to do in 5 minutes what mankind has taken thousands of years to develop. The first light was probably a torch, plucked out of the fire by a caveman and used to scare off his enemies. But then, of course, you know all about torches, don't you? Oh, yes. Later, somebody discovered that oil would travel up a wick and would burn thus. And after that came candles, then kerosene lamps, then gas lamps.
That's fine, Mr. Whoopi, but what about electric lights?
Yes, electric lights, yes, of course. Well, you'll note that in these other forms of light, something burned, right?
Yes, we know about burning.
Well, for years, men tried to make a light that would not use a flame. And in 1879, Thomas Edison, the world's greatest inventor, did it. He knew that when electricity is passed through a fine thread, the thread will get white hot and give off light. Trouble was that the thread, which is called a filament, soon burned up. Edison knew that things can't burn if there is no air. So he put the filament in a glass bulb and pumped out all of the air. Now the filament lasted a little longer, but still not long enough to be practical. He searched all over the world for a filament that would last. He made test after test. Finally, he tested a filament made of bamboo fiber. It burned a long time. The electric light was a success. Today, of course, the filaments are made of a metal called tungsten and last a very long time.
Did you get that, Chumley? First, we need a thread for a filament. Then we pump the air from the milk bottle, and then we'll have ourselves a real light.
Not so fast, not so fast, my boy. You know what happened the last time you tried to make a light? You both might have been killed. Electricity is a very dangerous thing and should be handled only by trained, experienced men. I want you to promise me you'll never again fool around with electricity. Promise?
All right, we promise. But what are we going to do for a light?
Oh, you'll think of something.
And so they did. On the way back to the zoo, Tennessee got an idea, and quickly entering a certain store, came out with a large package.
There now, Chumley. I'll just turn on this switch and all the light we need.
Yeah, but why didn't you do this in the first place?
Why didn't I do this in the first place? Chumley, don't be ridiculous. If I bought a lamp in the first place, we'd never have learned about torches, right?
Uh-huh.
We'd never have learned about oil lamps and candles and gas lights, right?
Uh-huh.
We'd never have learned about Thomas Edison and how the light bulb works, right?
Right.
Do you want to be ignorant all your life? Do you? Do you? Do you? Chumley, you seem determined to spend the rest of your life in the dock.
Tennessee and Chumley will be right back with more cartoon fun.